2 people were rescued and a third swam to safety after a California pier under construction partially collapsed and fell into the ocean Monday as the state's central coast was pounded by heavy surf from a major storm expected to bring hurricane-force winds to the seas off the Pacific Northwest, authorities said. Residents were warned to stay away from low-lying areas near the beaches around the Santa Cruz Wharf, about 70 miles south of San Francisco, as the storm rapidly gained strength. The storm's high surf and flooding prompted the city of Capitola, some 4 miles east of the wharf along the Monterey Bay, to order guests at a waterfront hotel to evacuate if they had ocean-facing units. Residents in the city's business district were told to shelter in place or leave the area immediately. In Santa Cruz, lifeguards rescued 2 people from the water after a section of the pier collapsed, officials said. No one had serious injuries, Mayor Fred Keeley said.
Roughly 12:44 this afternoon, a segment of the end of our municipal wharf fell into the ocean.
Today at about 12:45, the Santa Cruz Wharf was hit as part of this swell event with large waves, and we lost, we believe, approximately about 150 feet of the end of the wharf. So that included the restroom building, some equipment that was out there staged as part of the construction site, as part of the renovation of the wharf, in response to the last 2 years of storms. So in the midst of that project, again, hit by another storm this weekend, or today, Monday.
Personnel that fell into the water were rescued, 2 by our folks, 1 self-rescued. And there are no serious injuries involved in that, and we believe that everyone who went into the water is now accounted for and safe. Some of the pilings and piers that were destroyed and washed away are in the ocean, and they are serious hazards for people and for any kind of navigation. So we're asking people not to be in the water, not to be on the beach, not to have their vehicles, their boats or other devices out in the water. These are massive piers which weigh hundreds and hundreds of pounds apiece and are being driven by the Pacific Ocean. That is not something that we think folks ought to mess around with. We encourage people to stay out of the water until further notice. And we are anticipating that what is coming towards us is more serious than what was there this morning. This is going to be high tide at a time when we have king tides and all kinds of other activities out there in the Pacific Ocean.
The war began when Hamas-led militants attacked southern Israel on October 7, 2023, killing some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking around 250 hostages. Around 100 captives are still inside Gaza, at least a third of whom are believed to be dead. Israel's air and ground offensive has killed over 45,200 Palestinians, according to Gaza's health ministry. The ministry says women and children make up more than half the dead but does not distinguish between civilians and combatants in its tally. The military says it has killed over 17,000 militants, without providing evidence. Its drones have been used by first responders to locate victims, mappers to survey roads and utility lines, mosquito control officers to reach swarms of larvae, and filmmakers to capture aerials. Founded in 2006 and based in the southern Chinese city of Shenzhen, DJI makes devices that are known for their affordability and high performance. They are even used on the battlefield in Ukraine by both sides, even though DJI does not make military drones. As US-China relations soured, DJI drones came under scrutiny. The US government has put the company on several blacklists, citing human rights concerns as well as alleged links to the Chinese military. DJI has denied any wrongdoing, and is suing the Pentagon over the designation that it is a Chinese military company. U.S. customs officials have also blocked some DJI shipments over concerns that the products might have been made with forced labor. DJI has called it a customs-related misunderstanding. In response to the budget proposal, DJI has demanded fairness. Users say Chinese drones can't be easily replaced. Russell Hedrick, a North Carolina farmer, flies drones to spray fertilizers on his corn, bean, and wheat fields at a fraction of what it would cost him to use a conventional ground spreader. A drone spreader costs $35,000, while a ground sprayer would cost $250,000, he said.
I think that that's one of the best kept secrets right now in agriculture is drone technology. You know, just looking at the small mapping drones, we use one with NDVI, which we can fly over a cornfield in season and we can see, is there a problem area? Is it fertility? Is it somebody messed up with chemistry? Do we have soil biology issues where that crop is not growing as well in one area? And we can essentially take that one section out and we can scientifically test it in the laboratory to see what the problem is and actually grow a better food.
Chinese manufactured drones are a real and present threat to the security of this country. We ought to stop using them. Use American drones instead. Drones manufactured in China are a source of surveillance, data collection, other kinds of security threats. And I have warned repeatedly about the security dangers of Chinese manufactured drones. They ought to be banned. End of story.
I've got kind of mixed emotions about this security issue with the drones because, you know, we've talked to lawmakers. We work with these drones every single day. I have friends in the industry that do the same thing every single day. And the lawmakers haven't given us a valid reason yet. And I'm not saying they have to divulge all the details, but if there is a true security issue, just say it. If they're going to ban it, if they're going to say that they're bad, tell us why. Because every time that I've talked to a lawmaker, they could do this, they could do that. It's always they could.
I rise in support of this legislation, H.R. 2864, the Countering CCP Drones Act, led by the gentlelady from New York's 21st District. DJI Technologies is the largest drone manufacturer in the world. Their drones are used by hobbyists, public safety agencies, and private companies to capture images from above, protect the public, and monitor critical infrastructure. Despite its significant presence, DJI is based in China, and it has no ties with the Chinese Communist Party, which represents a national security risk to the United States. As we know, the companies with ties to the CCP operate in an environment tightly intertwined with the Communist Chinese government, raising serious concerns about the level of influence and potential for exploitation by the CCP.
I think lawmakers really should take into account that we have the most efficient agriculture system in the world in the United States. If they're going to start taking away the tools, whether it be drones, chemistry, how we apply fertilizer, if they're going to make a law that affects farming, they better think at the end of the day that they might be crippling our farm economy. You know, it took us 120 years to build agriculture to where it's at in the United States. If it's going to be a change, it shouldn't be a knee-jerk reaction.